Every single time it rains, you are fighting your windshield. Wipers smear, vision blurs, hands grip the wheel harder than they should. You have tried RainX. You have tried those blue windshield washer fluids with a hydrophobic formula printed on the label. Maybe it worked for a week, 2 weeks if you were lucky, and then you were right back to the same problem. Here is what nobody tells you. RainX has been around since 1972. It is over 50 years old, and the way it works has not fundamentally changed. You are putting a wax-based silicone polymer on top of your glass, and within 2 to 6 weeks, it is gone. Wiper blades, ultraviolet light, rain, heat, all of it strips it away like it was never there. Meanwhile, German automotive engineers at companies like G-Technique cracked a completely different code. Not a coating that sits on top of your glass, a treatment that chemically bonds into it. The difference sounds small. The results are not. We are talking about windshields that repel water for up to 5 years. Water that does not just bead, it literally flies off the glass at 45 miles per hour without you even touching your wipers. And the scary part? Most drivers have never heard of this. You can do this yourself at home in about 2 hours for under $50. Let me break down exactly how it works and why it is so different from everything you have tried before. First, you need to understand why your windshield is lying to you. Your windshield looks smooth. To the naked eye, it looks like a perfect flat sheet of glass. But zoom in at the microscopic level, and it is anything but. The surface of glass is covered in millions of tiny peaks and valleys. Think of it like a mountain range in miniature, completely invisible to you. But when a water droplet lands on that surface, it does not just sit on top. It falls down into those valleys and locks in. That is why water on untreated glass spreads out into large, flat drops that cling to the surface and smear when your wipers hit them. Those microscopic pores act like millions of tiny prisms, splitting and deflecting light in all different directions. That is the glare you see at night. That is the haze in heavy rain. That is not just annoying. It is a safety issue. A study referenced by researchers found that drivers looking through untreated glass in rain react to hazards about 1 full second slower than drivers with hydrophobic glass. At 60 miles per hour, 1 second equals 88 feet. That is almost the length of 3 school buses. Think about that the next time you are driving in a downpour. RainX temporarily fills some of those valleys with a silicone polymer, but silicone is wax-based. It does not bond chemically to the glass. It just sits on top. So every time your wipers move, every time ultraviolet light hits the surface, every time it rains hard, that silicone slowly erodes. That is why you are back at the store in 6 weeks. The German method solves this problem permanently. Not temporarily, permanently. Here is what actually happens when you do this correctly. The active ingredient in professional-grade German glass coatings is fluoroalkylsilane. It is a fluoropolymer compound, the same family of chemicals used in non-stick cookware and aerospace coatings. When fluoroalkylsilane comes into contact with glass, it does not just sit on the surface. It reacts chemically with the silica in the glass itself, forming what chemists call a covalent bond. That means it becomes molecularly fused with the glass. You are not coating it anymore. You are changing what the glass is at a surface level. The result? A water contact angle that rises above 100 degrees. On untreated glass, that angle is around 20 to 30 degrees. Water spreads out and sticks. On properly treated glass, water forms nearly perfect spheres and rolls off on its own. At speeds above 50 kilometers per hour, that is about 31 miles per hour, water literally peels off the windshield completely. You do not need wipers. In heavy rain on the highway, your glass stays clear. Professional detailers in Germany have been applying this technology for years. Now, you can do it yourself. Step 1. You have to remove what's already there. All of it. This is where 90% of people fail and why their coatings never last. You cannot apply a nano coating over contamination. You cannot apply it over old RainX. You cannot apply it over water spots, mineral deposits, tree sap, or road film. If you do, the chemistry fails. Instead of bonding to glass, the coating bonds to the contamination, and it peels off in weeks. Start by cleaning your windshield with a dedicated glass cleaner. Not Windex, not an all-purpose cleaner. Use something without ammonia and without silicone additives. Spray it on. Wipe it off with a clean microfiber cloth. Now do it again and again. You want a completely dry, streak-free surface before you move on. Next is the step nobody skips in Germany, but almost everyone skips here: clay bar treatment for glass. Most people use a clay bar on their paint. Almost nobody uses it on their windshield. But glass collects the same contamination: industrial fallout, brake dust, mineral deposits, overspray, and a clay bar removes all of it. Spray a clay lubricant across the windshield and run the clay bar across the surface using straight back and forth strokes. You will feel the resistance as it pulls off embedded particles. When the clay glides smoothly without catching, that glass is clean. After the clay bar, wipe the entire surface down with isopropyl alcohol on a fresh microfiber cloth. This removes any remaining oils and lubricant residue from the clay process. Now you have a chemically clean, decontaminated glass surface. Now you are ready. Step 2. Polish the glass. Yes, you can polish glass. This step is optional, but it is what separates a coating that lasts 1 year from one that lasts 5. Glass accumulates micro scratches from wiper blades, from debris, and from years of use. These scratches compromise the chemical bond of the coating you are about to apply. Polishing removes them and opens up fresh silica on the glass surface, giving the fluoropolymer coating more surface area to bond to. Use a dedicated nano-glass polish. G-Technique's G4 nano-glass polish is one of the best on the market, formulated specifically for this purpose. You can apply it by hand with an applicator pad or use a dual-action polisher on a glass polishing pad for faster results. Work in small sections, overlapping passes, applying light to medium pressure. Polish the entire windshield surface. Wipe off the residue with a clean microfiber, then wipe down once more with isopropyl alcohol. When you are done, the glass should look clearer than it ever has. That is not a coincidence. You have just mechanically removed the microscopic damage that has been building up for years. Step 3. Apply the coating in layers. This is not RainX. The product to use here is a fluoropolymer nanoglass coating. G-Technique G1 Clear Vision. Smart glass is the gold standard for consumer use, and it bonds to glass for up to 20,000 miles of protection. Other strong options include CarPro Flyby 30, Carbon Collective Platinum Glass, and Nanolex Ultra. These products are not available at your local auto parts store. Order them online. A 15 milliliter bottle of G1 costs around $20, and it treats a full windshield with multiple coats. Work in a shaded area. Keep the temperature above 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Never work in direct sunlight. The product flashes too quickly in sun and will not bond evenly. Apply a small amount of the coating to the included applicator pad. A few drops is all you need. Work it into the glass in circular motions, making sure you cover every inch of the surface. For the windshield, the German method requires 3 layers, not 1. Apply the first layer in circular motions and let it cure for 5 minutes. Apply the second layer in side-to-side horizontal motions and let it cure for 5 minutes. Apply the third layer in vertical top to bottom strokes and let it cure for 15 minutes. The 3-direction application ensures complete, overlapping coverage with no gaps. Then use the residue remover included in the kit to wipe off the cured excess. This is critical. If you leave uncured residue on the glass, it will cause wiper judder and smearing for weeks. Wipe it off methodically with a clean microfiber towel. The glass underneath should look completely clear, because it is. The coating is invisible. It is not a film. It is not a layer. It has chemically become part of the glass surface. Step 4. Do not touch it for 3 hours. After application, the coating needs time to fully cure before it contacts water. Park the car somewhere protected. Do not drive it. Do not wash it. Do not run the wipers. Just let it sit. The chemical reaction is still happening at the molecular level. 3 hours later, it is set. At 24 hours, it is fully hardened. Here is the first sign it worked. The next time it rains, instead of water sheeting and smearing across your windshield, you will see tight, perfectly round beads forming and shooting across the glass. Some people describe it as watching a hot pan repel water. At highway speed, those beads do not just roll, they fly. Many drivers report not needing their wipers at all on the highway in moderate rain. That is not marketing language, that is physics. Step 5. Maintain it properly, and it lasts for years. Here is where the 5-year timeline becomes real. The coating, once chemically bonded to the glass, does not wear away from normal rain. What degrades it over time is primarily wiper blade abrasion and harsh cleaning chemicals. So there are 2 rules going forward. Rule 1. Stop using ammonia-based glass cleaners on the outside of your windshield. Ammonia attacks the fluoropolymer bond. Use a dedicated automotive glass cleaner without ammonia. Meguiar's Perfect Clarity and G-Technique G6 are both formulated to clean without stripping hydrophobic coatings. No ammonia. Rule 2. Every 6 months, do a quick maintenance application. 1 single layer of the same coating product applied over the existing treatment. You are not restarting the process. You are refreshing the top layer that takes the most abrasion from wipers. 1 layer, 5 minutes of application, 15 minutes of cure time. That maintenance step is what extends the protection from 2 years to 5. Maintenance matters. On glass surfaces that do not have wiper contact, like side windows, rear side glass, and mirrors, that first application can genuinely last 3 to 5 years with 0 maintenance. Side window glass treated with the German method will bead water beautifully for years without a single reapplication. Long-lasting. Before we keep going, if this is something you have never heard of and you found it genuinely useful, hit that like button. It takes 1 second, and it helps more people find this information instead of buying their 14th bottle of RainX. What does this actually feel like in the real world? One owner documented using G-Technique G1 on his daily driver after going through RainX 4 times in a single year. After the proper prep and 3-layer application, he drove through an Oregon winter. The coating survived constant wiper use. It survived torrential rain. It survived ice. A year later, water was still sheeting at highway speed. He said the biggest change was not the rain, it was the bugs. Insects that normally plaster themselves onto a windshield during summer drives were washing off in the next rainfall because nothing could grip the surface. He did not wash his car for 3 weeks, and the windshield cleaned itself. Another driver in Florida, one of the hardest environments for any coating due to heat, ultraviolet exposure, and daily afternoon storms, reported G1 performing at full strength after 12 months of heavy daily use. Bugs washing off in rain. No wiper streaking, no need for washer fluid on the highway. Full strength. And here is the safety angle that often gets overlooked. A study found that treated hydrophobic glass increases a driver's ability to recognize objects, signs, and hazards by 34% compared to untreated glass in wet conditions. Night vision with treated glass in rain is comparable to untreated glass during the day. Let that sink in. Better night visibility in rain without changing a single component on your car, just by treating the windshield you already have. Safety. What about the cost? RainX runs about $130 a year in reapplications. Over 5 years, that is $650 for a product that smears, causes wiper judder, and is known to clog washer reservoir nozzles. The German method costs under $60 total for 5 years of protection. Do the math. The bottom line, RainX was a solution for 1972. Fluoropolymer nano coatings are the solution now. Decontaminate, polish, apply 3 layers, cure, and maintain every 6 months. That is it. No gimmicks, just chemistry that actually works. Do it once, do it right, and the next 5 years of Rain becomes something you stop thinking about entirely. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you do not miss our next breakdown. Drop a comment below if you have tried this or have questions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.